The assassin had the president in his crosshairs, but the glare from his 8x scope gave away his position. The president kept giving his speech like nothing was happening, but in his mind he was calculating distance and wind speed. In less than a second, he figured out exactly when the bullet would arrive. At the last possible moment, he shifted slightly to the side. The bullet just grazed his arm. He used the assassination attempt to crush his political opponents. His approval ratings hit an all-time high. But 6 months ago, this president me was just another loser wandering the streets. I called myself a writer, but all I did every day was stare at blank pages. I couldn't write a single word. I survived on moldy pizza. Life had hit rock bottom. That's when my girlfriend chose to leave.
Come on, Eddie.
Let's just not do this. Okay, I'm gonna hand in 90 pages tomorrow on Friday.
She even left me some money on her way out. It was the ultimate humiliation. I wandered the streets like a ghost. A young guy recognized me, my ex-wife's little brother. I immediately got a headache. This guy used to be a street punk. Now he was dressed like he'd made it big. Seeing me in such a pathetic state, he actually bought me a drink, then started bragging about his secret to success. I watched him pull a pill from his jacket. My instinct was to refuse. It's high tech, he said. Completely legal. They're even launching it next year.
What's in it?
They've identified these receptors in the brain that activate specific circuits. And you know how they say that we can only access 20% of our brain? Well, what this does, it lets you access all of it.
I listened to his sales pitch, mentally rejecting any kind of drugs. He got a call and had to leave. Before going, he left me his business card. I stared at that clear little pill, filled with doubt, but I'd already lost everything. What else was there to fear? I swallowed it. Suddenly, my brain lit up like a Christmas tree. My thoughts became crystal clear. That's when my landlord showed up for the rent. She was carrying a law textbook. One glance at the spine, and I knew she was studying for the bar exam. I'd seen that book 15 years ago. Now every page was stored in my brain. My memory was like a computer hard drive. I could access any information instantly.
If you're writing a paper, that's not the book I'd use.
I explained the legal concepts to her. She was mesmerized. We ended up in bed. Back home, I was still buzzing with energy. Cleaned the apartment spotless. Ideas flowed like water from a spring. I started writing like a man possessed. My fingers flew across the keyboard. I finished an entire novel in one day. The next morning, I was back to my old self. Yesterday felt like a dream, but the novel was still there. I took it to my editor at the publishing house. She knew my usual work was garbage, but grudgingly agreed to look at it. I'd barely gotten home when she called. She said she'd never read anything so brilliant. Not only did she offer an insane advance, but millions for exclusive rights. I nearly lost my mind with joy, and once again marveled at the power of that pill. I tracked down my ex-wife's brother using his card. When we met again, his face was covered in bruises. When I mentioned the pills, he got evasive. He told me to pick up his suit from the dry cleaners. Only then would he give me more pills. It meant getting the pills. Running an errand was nothing. When I came back with the suit, the door was half open. Everything was quiet. I walked in. The place had been ransacked. He was on the floor, dead. I hid in the corner, terrified.